1370 WOCA.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, it is time for Jim George, also known as Professor Gadget, not to be confused with Inspector Gadget, which is where this music comes from. We thought we would borrow it, steal it, whatever we're doing with it. Play it.
Play it.
Just play it. Go ahead, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning. Fine. Thank you.
The phone lines are open, by the way, if you want to call Jim about your gadget, your device, your technology. You have a question about it, or you've heard about something and you wondered if it was worth paying for. The phone number is 622-9622, and of course Jim George is from American Cable. Well, gosh, I forgot your name again. What is it?
American Cable Services.
Services. I almost said radio. American Cable Radio or something like that.
Yeah.
So how are you?
I think I brought you some low-tech gadgets in this morning, one for you and one for Robin.
What is it, Scotch tape?
There's a lady in our church that makes these, and open it up and look at how low-tech the...
Oh, it's nice. It's a cross.
But look at it. It's quite nice, isn't it?
Made out of horseshoe nails? Is that what you call them?
Well, we call them cut nails, which means they can go into concrete.
Okay.
And then you can hang it up on your rearview mirror.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Can't get it out of the bag.
Very nice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she makes and sells those for like $3, and I just got like a half a dozen from her and said, yep, I knew people who could use that.
All right.
Wow, so this is how she makes her money.
Yeah, and think about it. Yeah, I think she's in her late 80s.
Is that fishing?
Oh, my
fishing
gosh.
line is what you hang it with. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's put a little monofilament there so that you could
Nice.
hang it. But, some people need a reminder every so often, especially when they're on the phone talking to someone that they don't want to talk to, that keep that Christian attitude.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Keep
yeah.
the Christian attitude.
I've needed that a few
And then I
times.
brought you in the spaceship thing to show you about this. You know what that is, of course.
It looks like it's something for a, what do you call it?
For a car?
Yeah.
Like a car charger?
Cigarette lighter.
So basically think about all the gadgetry that goes into this. You plug it in,
Right.
and if you need to have that port, well, it's got a port that you can come out of. So if you need it for your Garmin in your car, so what we're looking at, guys, because you can't see it, is an inverter for your car. You plug it into the 12-volt battery, the cigarette lighter port.
Right.
And it has a port that comes out that has a cigarette lighter to continue. So if you need to use a cigarette
in case
lighter.
you need it for something.
Right, or if you
Okay.
need it for your Garmin, you can also.
And what is your Garmin? What does that mean?
That's your GPS.
Okay.
Oh.
They call them TomToms or Garmins.
Okay.
Oh.
Garmin is a brand name?
Yep, you put it on the window, and it says turn right here. And
Okay.
All right. Then it has a USB port, so you can charge your cell phone while you're driving.
Oh, good.
But let's assume, in my case, I want to have a printer in my car.
An
I can-
actual...
Wow.
There's enough power in a car
Yeah.
battery to do that?
Yeah, so I go
print.
at, there's over 300 amps in a car battery. Most of them have 600, what's called crank, 600 amps to crank the car.
Now, that won't drain the battery at
Nope,
all?
not while you're driving, nope.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I can plug a printer in here. So if I did some work for someone and they said, well, send me a bill, I said, I'll just go out to the car and print one.
You have to start the car, though.
You would
No?
not have to start the
Oh, really?
car
Oh, really?
unless you were going to sit there for like an hour.
Oh, okay.
It would drain the battery.
okay.
But anyway, so you have two ports for 110. So you could plug in a tape player.
Right.
Let's assume you want to listen to a tape, but your car doesn't have a tape player.
Right.
Just plug in a tape player.
Huh.
And this little thing costs $9.95 at any Flying J, Pilot, any truck stop. And you can probably get them at Radio Shack for like $50. But
Oh, wow.
they're like $9.95.
50. Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah. And they come in different wattages, so this might be the lowest wattage there is. But I actually have one in my car that will run a TV and,
Wow.
and a meter and everything. So when I go to a job site, if I'm out on the side of the road and I want to see how the pictures are here,
Right.
I just turn it on and it won't drain the battery. I don't even have to crank the car.
Oh, wow.
And I can sit there and watch TV on the side of the road. And this is like
Gosh.
$9.95. So that's one of the best Christmas gifts
That is a cool
you
idea.
could ever give somebody.
Wow, that is really awesome.
Now, they also make them with cords. Let's assume you don't want that sticking out of your dash.
Right.
You got this brand new car and you want this ugly little thing sticking out.
That's true, yeah.
Well, they come with cords, and what you do is you put it under your seat, and then you plug the cord in. It's just a cord coming out. And then you can still plug in your printer, your TV, your tape player, your whatever you wanted to plug in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's got a map light on there too.
Oh yes, it's got a light on there. You can turn.
Why do you need a map? You got a GPS.
Well, let's assume you drop something on the floor and you don't want to turn the overhead light on.
Right.
You just hit that light.
Oh wow. So
And
what? Is that the normal wattage for like normal people like us?
Yeah,
or do we need
that's
to
a very
increase
low
it?
wattage. That's probably the lowest wattage they make. And I've had it for 10 years, and it works perfect. And I paid $9.95 for it. Now,
Wow.
my daughter gave me one about 3 years ago.
So what's the switch for? That's for the light?
Yep, the type that has a cord, and I've yet to use it because that hasn't gone bad yet.
Wow, that is a cool idea. So
Nice.
for those who want to get one, what's it called again?
It's an inverter.
Inverter.
Yeah, an inverter converts 12 volts to 110.
Pretty neat.
Wow, that is. I guess I never realized.
Yeah.
Now, is that how they do it? Like when you see it, like an RV at a campground, and they're watching their TVs and stuff, and they're not plugged into the campground electricity. That's how they do it.
They have an inverter that changes 12 volts to 110.
Wow.
And your car battery, that will not decrease the life of your battery?
No. As a matter of fact, it's actually kind of good for your battery to run a little low and then get recharged. Anything that's charged all the time, for instance, if you have a laptop and you keep it plugged in at the house, 24 hours a day, the battery's dead.
Oh, really? It's not good, huh?
It's not good. And now you can train your battery. My wife had one that she kept plugging all the time, and every time she would unplug it, it may last 2 minutes, and then it would go bad.
Oh, wow.
So what I had to do was train the battery. So I had to turn it on and let it go bad, and then charge it for like 5 or 10 minutes, because that's all it would take to get it, and then let it, and it kept doing it. So now she has about 3 hours life in her battery. You retrain the battery to
Really?
Yeah, you want what's called deep discharge. Let it go all the way down. Now that's not too good for a car battery, but you want it to go low. You want to use it, and your lights start to dim a little bit. Then you turn it on, then you crank the car up, let it charge.
Wow.
Wow. The lights start to go down. Sounds like an alternator problem.
Yeah. And now you're on the side of the road and your battery's dead. What are you going to do?
Call AAA.
Yep. Or you can open up the battery where the water is. You know those little ports.
Yeah.
Throw an aspirin in there.
And
Really?
aspirin in the port.
And the ports, and that will get you going for maybe a couple of months until the battery.
Couple months.
Until the battery dies totally, because the
Wow. I never knew that.
aspirin will eat the battery up. That one little aspirin.
Really? Wow.
Would a BC work? BC powder?
No.
No? Why not?
Because it has to be that chemical composition that's inside of an aspirin. A lot of people who are listening to this right now know all this
That's
stuff.
what BC was
They're
aspirin.
saying, "Oh yeah, I throw that." I don't know what BC is.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying it has to be aspirin.
I've
okay.
never known about the aspirin in a battery.
Yeah.
It's one of the first things a pharmacist in pharmacy school learns is how to make an aspirin. Did you ever know that?
Yes. Yeah. Because TJ did when he went to pharmacy
Yeah,
school.
it's like one of the first things they learn how to make. So I wonder how you make it. If it's the first thing, maybe I could learn it.
Yeah, I could
be.
learn that.
Or
I guess it's just easy to go buy them, huh?
eat a jalapeno, and that'll do the same thing. Oh boy.
Did you hear us talk about the Holo thing that Microsoft has put out? Let me find it again.
I think I did, yes. I've seen it on TV, actually. They're advertising.
Are they really? Holo, Holo. It looks like sunglasses.
It does.
HOLO lens, yeah. And it makes little, what do you call them again, holograms?
It does. It projects it in front of your eyes so close that you think it's large screen. Remember we talked about this once for the military when they have they have their helmets and a little 1-inch by 1-inch screen comes up.
Right.
But you think it's a 51-inch screen because it's right there in
Because it's
front
so
of you.
close. And what about focusing your eyes? I mean,
I assume there's
like
going to
I
be...
need glasses just to read the screen on anything.
Right. I assume there's going to be some type of on the glasses itself. You can move it back and forth, either zoom in or zoom out, or adjust the focus. Yep, I'm assuming that. I don't know. But you remember the Google glasses? How you read last week or the week before? They're no longer in existence.
Yeah, going away.
3D TVs, no longer in existence.
Wow.
And curved TVs, are they going out?
No, they just came in, but if they don't if people don't buy them, they won't.
They're gone. See, I don't even get the whole curved TV.
It's a fad.
I don't get why you would want one though, because you can't. The whole idea of the beauty of the flat screen TV is you can hang it on the wall like a picture.
Yeah, but it's one dimensional. It doesn't look like it's coming towards you, like if they're riding horses. And with a curve, you'll see something coming from the right, something coming from the left. You'll get the 3D appearance without being 3D. because it's your eye. Haven't you ever been watching TV and all of a sudden off the right corner of your eye you'll see something, you turn your head, there's nothing there. It's somehow it's just that effect.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. If you have a question about whatever device you've been puzzled about, this is a good time to call Jim here at the studio, 622-9622. We'll take a break and be right back.
I hesitated
Hi,
to
my
bring
name
this
is Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. As primary care physicians, we use acupuncture to treat back pain, arthritis, migraines, allergies, high blood pressure, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, stress, and more using all natural medical therapies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment, 352-615-5566.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
We are The Source, WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll turn out mostly cloudy today and breezy. It'll be warm, too, with a couple of showers or even a thunderstorm later this afternoon, high 76 to 80. Tonight, cloudy, breezy, and mild with a shower or a thunderstorm, low 63 to 67. Tomorrow, cloud and a shower to start, then some sun in the afternoon, breezy and cooler with highs in the 60s. For Sunday, sunshine, high 62 to 66. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Thank you, Joe Lundberg. It's 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and Jim George is in the studio, our Professor Gadget. If you have a question about something that you have been wondering about with your TV, your cable, any gadgets you might have, you want to call in right now, the number is 622-9622. And Jim, of course, from American Cable Services.
Correct.
How come I'm forgetting that last word? American Cable Services. You do have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Jim.
Good morning. I have a question. I have a large flat screen TV, and a while back I decided to buy a reconditioned, the name is Samsung, soundbar. And when I put it on, sometimes the sound blinks in and out for maybe a second. And I thought the soundbar was bad. And I had a buddy come over, and he said, well, try running a DVD through it. When I run a DVD, there's no blinking. So he said maybe it's my Wi-Fi that's the problem.
Oh, I see. So you have a sound bar that has a bar that's in front of the set and then a little booster or a bass that's wireless?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, your Wi-Fi, or you could have it too far away. In other words,
it's right next to the TV.
Oh, it's right next to, then move it further away.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because what happens is the pattern, the radiation pattern is not reaching that unit totally. In other words, there's a dead spot. Just move it anywhere from 6 inches to a foot, just something like that. It should cure it. Yeah.
I'll try. I have one more question.
Okay.
I live in the city of Ocala, and I have Wi-Fi, and I'd like it a little faster, but I don't know who to even go to.
Well, whose service do you have now?
Can I name them?
Sure.
I have Cox.
Okay. Well, they offer different speeds, but if you think the price may not be to your liking, the city of Ocala offers high-speed internet if you're in the city limits, and they bring a fiber right to your home, which means you can.
I went to this.
Yeah.
I went to the city and I asked them that. I actually went to Arnie, and Arnie said council doesn't allow them to do that anymore.
When did you do this?
Probably last time I listened, maybe a month or so ago.
Oh, really? Well, I have to get a hold of him because he's always telling me just send people straight to me. All right.
I would love to have the city for my internet.
Well, let me tell you, there's something afoot that probably cannot be discussed today on the radio. So if you'll stay tuned, in maybe 2 or 3 months, you'll find something very interesting.
Well, then I'll have to wait, brother.
Sounds like, yeah.
There's something afoot, but I cannot discuss it.
All right.
Yep.
I got to just wait a couple months, right?
Yes. We'll announce it.
All right.
Thank you.
very much.
Interesting call.
Right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Robin and her husband's TV had an issue. We told you this last week, and it turned out that the cable needed to be bigger.
Yes.
Would that possibly be his problem?
No, he's the TV works. It's not being intermittent on the sound, and the DVR is playing through the speakers fine. It's just a question between the connectivity of the wireless soundbar and the TV. Well, the TV has a wireless pattern.
I gotcha. Okay.
And there's equipment to map the pattern, but just move it a foot away or something. What happens? He's probably right under the TV with the bar, and there's maybe a piece of metal. There's something that's stopping
deflecting it or something?
Yes, just move it a little bit. We did the same thing in my house. We moved it like 2 foot and ta-da. There.
Farther away,
Wow.
not closer. Farther away. Oh, wow. The number here is 622-9622. Those are the kinds of questions that Jim comes in to answer. And, of course, he has fun with this, I hope.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
We do. But the deviating from the gadgetry for a moment, you had that news bit about the ladies in Congress or whatever wanting to stop dog racing.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, how cruel is dog racing as compared to horse racing?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Will horse racing be next? I mean,
Well, they can't cuddle up with a horse in their recliner, see?
Right.
They can't do what?
They can't cuddle up with a horse in
Oh,
their recliner.
I see. So it's cruel to have a dog run.
Because dogs are cute and cuddly. And
Take your dog outside. The first thing he will do is run.
I know. Good. Yes, exactly.
They want to run.
Exactly.
They want to run, but they don't have an object to focus their running on.
Do you know what I think? Mixing gadgetry with this subject here is, wouldn't it be cool if all of the races, like dog racing and horse racing, all had GoPros on the horses themselves?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have all of the vantage points of every. They do it with the race cars in NASCAR. They put a camera in the car.
Well, they also put cameras on rodents and things like that and let them go, and they go in sewers. You've probably seen it on to see what the obstacle is, or on ferrets, because they'll go through small, tight spots so they can see what's in there. And I suppose you could say that's cruel and humane. But the ferret doesn't seem to mind when he comes out. They give him a treat. And,
seems to have a good time.
Well, when you talk about that story, that's reflecting on government intervention. Is there government intervention a lot in your profession?
Oh, yeah, we see it all the time. Larry and I have been discussing net neutrality, for instance.
Yeah.
The government wants to get involved, and the cable systems and everybody wants the government out. Because if they get a small foothold trying to tell Comcast and the big boys how to run their business, in other words, you can't charge for access, you have to let it come through free and blah, then what's the next thing government will get involved in? And what happens slowly, they'll start encroaching. So it's a pattern that people see. But there are some things that the government has to get involved in. I mean, it's fixing your roads. You and I are not going to fix the road in front of our street. We have to get government to do that.
That's right.
There's certain things government has to get involved in our lives in. But we have to be diligent to make sure they don't get further than what we want them to get.
So if I'm going to try to guess at what the news would be in a few months that you hinted at with the last caller, I would guess that it would be more of the same. And then it's either faster or bigger or something.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah.
No, but in other words, there's nothing really new, but something.
Well, there'll be a few things new, and then some things will be better. Some new and some better.
So the new, that's hard to guess. Something new.
Yeah, it's going to be new. It's going to be good.
You have another phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Jim George.
Yes, good morning, everybody. You guys were speaking about cameras on insects and little animals and all that. I watched a program on the Science Channel here a while back, and in the near future, if not even now, they're going to have a deal where a person will swallow a camera in like a doctor's office that has a 360 lens on it, and it goes through your body. Of course, you poop it out in that, but it'll tell the doctors what's going on in your intestines, the stomach, and the whole tract and everything else, and it's probably pretty painless to do.
Gosh,
sounds painless.
Nice
yeah, you
technology.
poop it out. Who gets it out of the excrement? Who does it?
They have a special nurse for that.
It's a special nurse.
But it sounds like a pretty neat idea, rather than going for those other kind of thing where you put that rod up a mile long.
Yeah.
That's where the word, internal screening comes in. They have to use that screen when you're, at the end.
Oh, by the way, we do have a sex expert coming on to talk about the milking thing we talked about.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
we do.
And I have a meeting I have to go to.
Well, it's not today. It's not today.
February 6th.
Oh, February 6th.
The first Friday
It's
in
a Valentine's
February.
Day.
So they're looking for volunteers? Is
February.
that why they're coming in?
11:05.
Thank you, Hugh. Thank you for the call.
Oh, boy.
Well, I heard about that pill too. That camera. The way he said it, it's not there yet, but we're going there.
Well, it's actually there, but they're not. It's all experimental. But it's wireless. They're very small. So they'll put like you against a wall or something like that to show that it's lodged where it needs to be. Let's say in your stomach, and not sticking to the side of your stomach or whatever. And then it would just take its course, and it will record. So it's not recording so much
audio
transmitting, but it's recording. So when it comes out, they just download the information, and they'll see what your track looked like.
Is it just a video, or is it audio too?
It'd be video. Yeah, audio would be. That'd be bad. Gasorama.
What that would sound like. Just gurgling and.
Oh boy.
Well, are people like you going to have to invent new kinds of components and wires just for that kind of technology?
Nope. That there's better people than me out there. It's hard to even tell you what's out there. That's why when I brought in this low tech item, it's like it's been out there for 20 years or plus, but you hadn't necessarily seen it, so we wonder, who else hadn't seen it. But there's so much stuff out there.
And you get it at a truck stop, huh?
Yeah. Well, like I said, Radio Shack
makes
sells
sense.
it.
Yeah, but a truck stop makes sense because those guys would use it all the time.
Right. If you ever need any kind of cables, go to a truck stop. Mm-hmm. Even Radio Shack has them, but they'll charge you an arm and a leg. I don't want to say that. In other words, they have overhead. They have the storefront. They have
right.
Truck stop is selling soda and gas. So
right, like the Pilot.
You go in there, and if you need a cable, a charger, they have everything. Everything.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Well, that's where I. Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't. I got my little. Well, back when TV was still the other form of broadcasting. What was it called again? I can't remember. Was it VA? What did they call it?
Well, very
UHF?
high frequency.
VHS.
And then UHF for ultra high frequency.
Right. But when I had a little camping TV, a little TV. It was like the size of a paperback book. That was awesome. But then they got rid of that whole VHS thing. Now the camera's worthless.
Yep.
Except you can listen to CB radio on it.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird on the upper channels?
Yeah, it's really sweet.
So if you have something that you purchased maybe as a gift for somebody, or your technology isn't working, hey, Robin's and Ronnie's TV wasn't working not because of the TV, but because of the cable not being big enough.
Right.
Yeah.
And how would you know that if you didn't have somebody who could answer that question? So Jim is the guy. Call Jim. What's your number, Jim?
854-9795.
Professor Gadget.
Professor Gadget.
Professor Gadget.
Yes. Thank you for the gadget. Thank you for the cross, by the way.
You're welcome. I have to get a whole new name tag now.
That's right.
And HOT is standing for Homeland
Optical Technology.
Homeland Optical Technology. All right. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
That was fun. We'll take a little break. Be right back.
News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. A powerful American ally has died. Saudi Arabia's King Abdullah and his successor is speaking out.
King Abdullah is being replaced by a 79-year-old half-brother, Prince Salman, who is promising to continue the policies of the kingdom. After Abdullah's death at age 90, he used Saudi Arabia's